Oh, hi. Welcome in. You're here for the Echoplex Media broadcast. Oh, great. Me too. My podcast, the Full Dash Closure audiobook and podcast, actually sponsors Echoplex Media. Yeah. We're also on podcatchers like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Amazon, you name it. We're on there. Yeah, it's about not just the gig economy, but corporate AI and the future of human employment and our economy. And it's really applicable to everybody. I think you'll be fascinated. So check it out. We've actually got 14 episodes up now. So yeah, check that out. Let's watch Echoplex Media now. See what Dave's up to.
Now, broadcasting from deep within your stepmom's basement, it's the Echoplex Podcast.
So please excuse my sarcastic tone. I'm a bit underwhelmed by the sample shown. Mr. Piss-drunk fraternity guy, big cup of ass with bloodshot eyes. Get drunk and fight every night. Idolize Bradley, belittle women's rights. Homophobic, racist, and don't give a fucking hey. Do you think you can drive a bigger truck? So wear your baseball cap to the side to let everyone know that you're a nice guy. So cool, was so impressed. Lots of chicks and a barrel chest. Cause you're a real man. Punch for punch, gonna piss in your face while you're passed out drunk. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. She's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planets. Oh, I just can't understand it. Conquered divine by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. I don't wanna hear it. Read into the lyrics, cause everybody gets their just desserts. As long as you remember that nice guys finished first. You're next on the list. Such a nice guy who speaks through his fists. Prick with a penchant for messing with heads. A broken nose for dinner and breakfast in bed. Alcoholic, paranoid, and suicidal too. But you'll probably kill her before she gets away from you. She lives in a pool of blood and cry. All your friends say that you're a nice guy. Have a drink, this one's on me. Look, you're doing fine, losing to your disease. Comatose, I'll pack your bags. Bury you like cash, ready to gag. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. We're all nice guys, but all of you are assholes. He's a nice guy, she's a nice guy. Hey, Tom Bone's a nice guy. All of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. The fundamental put a body by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. I don't wanna hear it. Read into the lyrics, so let the party spill quench your thirst.
everybody, welcome to the Plex. We do the show live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/EchoPlex Media. You can support this project at eplex.store. There's memberships there that operate a lot like Patreon, plus all of our merch is there. If you're a Patreon user, don't want to sign up for something new, I mean, I guess I understand. You can sign up at patreon.com/EchoPlex. And other ways to support this project can be found at echoplexmedia.com/support. And this is, in fact, what the people want.
I don't hate the cops. There's a person inside when the truncheon stops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Oh, when the raiders come, who will protect the shops? Don't hate the cops. They're a sensitive bunch if you don't stop throwing your rocks. Snap, crackle, pop is the sound of a taser. Your body drops. Don't hate the cops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Like your local police. Cause they don't do nothing wrong like your local police. Got rid of the corruption and the racism is gone. They've been keeping the peace, keeping homeless folks out of the parks and malls. Got a cure for your social disease. Follow the law, don't hate the cops. 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 Put your hands above your head and show you're not afraid. I'm the fearless judge that your skin color's gonna get. And if you die before the sun comes up, the paperwork will take forever. Well, it might have worked out a little bit better if you didn't hate the cops. Cause they don't do nothing wrong, don't hate the cops. You can't blame them for just doing their job, don't hate the cops. Well, you gotta wonder, how much would it cost for you to be shot at and stabbed at by maniacs and drunks? Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops.
So I'm fairly confident we've never played a clip of Judge Judy on this show, but that's what we're going to do to start off the news. If this is in fact the news. So there was a little background here, just real quick. There was a road rage incident, and the victim of the road rage incident called the police. And now the perpetrator of the road rage incident has decided to take the victim of the road rage incident onto Judge Judy and try to sue the victim. So didn't go great. Didn't go great for the perpetrator. You can imagine such a thing. Wait, why is there no sound? Oh. Well, it's live radio, everyone. Let's try this again.
The police show up at your door.
That is correct.
And they have a conversation with you about a report.
Yes, they
that
did.
Someone in your area has complained that there were shots fired by you out of your truck during this road rage incident.
That's what the statement says.
That's what the statement says. And I assume that the police searched the truck.
The police searched me.
Did they search the truck?
I gave the police the authority to search my truck willingly.
They searched the truck.
I told them they could.
Mr. Parkinson, I know that you think that I'm stupid. I know that you must think that I'm stupid. Did you give the police permission to search your house? The answer is yes or no.
No.
Of course not. Because in your house, they would have found multiple guns.
Correct.
In your house, that's a yes or a no. In your house, they would have found multiple guns.
Yes.
You keep multiple guns in your house, but don't carry one around for protection in your truck. When did they arrest you?
I was arrested on August 2nd.
Okay. And?
I was told to call the village police department. I promptly called them, and they told me I had a warrant for my arrest.
And?
I was very shocked.
And
I was charged with felony assault, and I had to pay $1,080 to bond and fees to get out of jail.
There's 2 lanes going into the village. There's a left and a right lane. I go left, he goes right. Well, I get in front of him, and then he starts getting behind me, swerving his car back and forth, revving his motor. He is so close. He's probably closest to me and him. I mean, he's not a car length away. He's right up on my bumper and revving his truck, and I'm going the speed limit. Then I turn, make a left. He's still right on me, never lets up. It's kind of a tricky area because it's curvy. So when I go around this one S-curve, I hear a pop. And I'm like, oh my God, he just shot at us. I said, call 911. When I start coming back down again, I look in my passenger mirror. I saw the spark. I saw it. I'll never forget it. And he heard it. We heard, even on the phone call, I think you can possibly hear it. He popped the gun again. And then he's on 911 talking to her, and the lady's saying, be calm, be calm. And I'm leaning down in the car. He's trying to tell me to go. He looks like he's going on past us. But when he does that, he rolls down the window, and you could see him holding a gun in his hand. And he says something I can't understand what he's saying. He's getting the license plate number. So we thought he kept on going.
So your son got the license number?
Yeah, he got the license plate number. He's on the phone with 911 at this time.
And that's what was given to the police?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I got the 911 call here with us today.
I would like to hear it. Step back. Can I hear the 911 call, please?
Go! 911, what's your emergency?
Somebody was shooting at us.
What?
There's a pop.
Gray Toyota truck. He was shooting at us. His license plate number is...
I need all units. We got a vehicle that is, the complainant's on 911 saying the vehicle is shooting at them. I'm fixing to run the tag. Who am I speaking with?
This is Leslie Scott Rogers.
And you said what kind of vehicle was it?
It's a gray Toyota Tundra. Go.
It's coming back on a gray Toyota Tundra, and that's what the complainant says. It's a 2014 Toyota Tundra.
Okay, start that 911 call all over again. Pay careful attention, because I thought at the beginning of this tape, I too heard a shot. Could we start again, please? Take your hand out of your pocket.
Go!
911, what's your emergency?
Somebody was shooting at us.
There it is. There it is. Got it. You can stop it.
That doesn't sound like a gunshot.
Mm-hmm. Your case is dismissed, Mr. Parkinson. Your case is dismissed. I have a counterclaim, so stand where you are. The counterclaim is by Miss Burke for the emotional trauma that she, let's just talk about her, went through as a result of your road rage and shooting your gun at her, which you did. You probably didn't shoot it to hit her or to hit the car, because I don't think you're that stupid. Stupid, yes, but I don't think that's stupid. I think you did it to frighten her, just to frighten her. Then I think that you brought the gun that you keep in your truck when you work, maybe on your person, which you probably have a perfectly legal right to do, and you took the gun, you said, just in case something happens, because I did, in fact, shoot my gun in her direction, because I heard it on the 911 call. I better put it in the house. I better put it in the house. So you took the gun and you brought it into the house, and then saying, oh, police are here. Oh, well, search my truck. You won't find a gun. Search me. You won't find a gun on me. Don't search my house. And I guarantee you that you didn't say to the policeman when they came, I do have a gun, but it's locked in my house. Show me something where you told the police that you had a gun, but it was in the house. Nothing, because it didn't happen. Based upon that 911 call, the fact that you were involved in a road rage incident with her, tailing her at least 3/4 of a mile, right on her tail, causing that 911 call, as far as I'm concerned, that's trauma. My heart would have been racing triple time, because I don't know whether behind me is a lunatic or just a stupid guy who can't control his temper, and his wife hasn't been able to beat it out of him for the last how many years you're married. Because there's no question he's done that sort of thing before. Maybe not with a gun. Maybe not with a gun. When was the last time, sir, prior to this time that you were arrested? When was the last time prior to this time that you were arrested? Year.
19.
Then 19, your age or 2019? 19. 2019. For what? Now, don't think, I know that if I were arrested once, a couple of years ago, I would have remembered what it was.
Well, I was arrested for supposed harassment, violation of no contact order. What else?
No, don't look at her.
It's been so many times, I can't remember.
What the fuck?
You've been arrested multiple times.
Yes.
Okay, good. Nice. You picked them.
I don't see how this pertains. Your
How
Honor.
does it pertain?
I do
to
decide
your
how it pertains.
propensity for violence, sir.
This has nothing to do with violence.
No, it does have to do with her counterclaim. $5,000 is what your counterclaim is for. Is that correct? Judgment on the counterclaim for $5,000. Your claim's dismissed. We're done.
This court is adjourned.
You know, that dude was like, I was arrested for harassment before and for violating a no contact order, like some kind of restraining order. But I don't see how that has anything to do with this. When the fucking thing was, he fucking was harassing someone with a weapon. But this is like, what kind of caught me there was she said, "Oh, you have a perfect legal right to own a gun." Well, if somebody was arrested for harassment and violating a no contact order and they're able to legally get guns, that's bad. That's the kind of person who we should not let have guns. I'm not, I don't have strong opinions one way or another on most gun control stuff. We don't talk about guns on the show a lot. But gun culture is out of control in this country. If that motherfucker was allowed to just buy more firearms after these other incidents, like multiple incidents. The last one was harassment and violating. This was someone the court already told him not to contact because that would be a crime. And that was probably the person he was harassing. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he had his gun with him and he just didn't see the need to flash the gun at that particular time or whatever. That guy's a fucking piece of shit, man. Take that man's guns. That's the first, my policy on gun control is we need to take that guy's guns. We can start there. I feel like all Americans can agree on this. That motherfucker shouldn't have a gun. Whether or not you or I should have one, I don't know. But that motherfucker shouldn't have a gun. What a massive piece of shit. That I don't know if we'll ever run Judge Judy again on this show, but when I saw that, I was like, I got to put that on Sunday. Probably got to put it first because it doesn't really fit in anywhere else. So, if everybody remembers this week, Joe Biden tripped over a sandbag on a stage. Don't know what the sandbag was doing on the stage. Maybe it was windy and it was helping hold down like some kind of piece of equipment or whatever. Well, here's somebody on Newsmax being all, Joe Biden needs to have better tactical awareness.
Now, we're our commander in chief. We would be better served if he was seen walking around with a walker, which is what he essentially needs right now, than falling all over the place like this. I mean, he shuffles when he walks. He's been doing that for a long time. That's part of the problem. He has no situational awareness, and he should have known that there was a sandbag on the stage there. I mean, most of us would see that and step over it, but it's all part of his cognitive decline and the physical manifestations that are part of him just being too old to do the job. And
this isn't okay. So this is a guy who hasn't spent a lot of time on a stage. I can't tell you the number of times I've tripped over shit. Like I've tripped over shit in my own studio when I was DJing, because you're like, if you're on stage, you're like thinking about the crowd, you're thinking about how you look, trying to make sure maybe if you're a politician or a public figure that you're not touching your face too much, that you're not making any weird hand gestures. You're thinking about a lot of things. So you're not really worried about, is there a sandbag directly in the line that I'm going to be walking when I get off the stage? I think this is a big nothing. People trip and fall over shit all the time. Whatever. I just thought it was funny that he's like, needs better situational awareness, not tactical awareness, situational awareness. Like, what is this, burn notice? Like, no, he doesn't need better situational awareness. He fucking tripped and fell over something on a stage. There's musicians that listen to this show, and there's musicians in my Twitch community, and they'll tell you too that they've tripped over shit on stages. That it just fucking happens. It happens to like S-tier performers who have choreography. So we're going to move on to the budget battle this week that happened. And here's Kevin McCarthy telling you, well, somebody needs to think about all the unemployed children out there. That's what's really at stake here in this budget battle.
For things we bought that we can return, like COVID money, money to China and others, we're bringing that back. We might have a child that has no job, no dependents, but sitting on a couch. We're going to encourage that person to get a job and have to go to work, which gives them worth and value. We're going to look at other things.
We're going to bring back child labor.
Stronger.
I know he just misspoke, but that's fucking funny. There's a kid that doesn't have anything to do, sitting on the couch playing video games. Yo, Kevin McCarthy, that kid's living their best life. If they don't got nothing to do and they just get to sit around and play video games on the couch, kids living their best life. Leave them kids alone. Here we go. Next we got Representative Dan Bishop just saying the quiet part out loud about why maybe this debt ceiling thing was being contested in the way that it was by what we would call the grand old party.
And what does the device of 2 years do? It removes the issue from the national conversation during the presidential election to come. How could you more successfully kneecap any Republican president than to take that issue out of his or her hands? That's what's being done. So now let me...
Or they're trying to not violate the 14th Amendment full faith and credit clause. That's my take, is that enough Republicans and Democrats decided that they didn't want to violate the Constitution by not fucking paying the bills. Because a lot of people don't know about this. It's like not the most popular part of the 14th Amendment, but there is a clause that's known as the full faith and credit clause. And it just basically says, we're the United States and we pay our fucking bills. So... Well, Steve Bannon, not too pleased with Mr. McCarthy. Steve Bannon's not really pleased with anybody, so I'm not sure that really means anything, but he thinks they should remove Kevin McCarthy as speaker. I tend to agree, but I think we think this for different reasons.
It's all coming. That's why McCarthy's got to go, just no doubt. Whether he goes now or he goes, near now, got to go. That team of Graves, McHenry, and McCarthy cannot, they can't negotiate. They negotiated a surrender. You can't do that. You got to fight. You can't negotiate a surrender.
You can negotiate a surrender. That's how surrenders work. You actually negotiate them most of the time. Because even if you, like in war or whatever, even if you lost, you could probably still get some concessions from whoever won, because everybody, if you're ready to surrender, everybody wants the war over probably, right? So yeah, you do negotiate surrenders. In fact, like, there are famous surrenders that were negotiated. I forget, what was the one at the end of World War II? There was like a famous negotiated surrender of World War II. And World War I, I think, too. There was, World War I, was it there? They did it on a train car? I forget. There was like a famous one that was done on a train car. There are like treaties that happen as the results of people surrendering in wars. Like, there are, in fact, negotiations that happen when a war is over. That's how you surrender. It is a negotiation process. Don't worry. Lindsey Graham's going to come in with the reel here. Everybody else is just, they don't know what they're doing. Here's elder statesman Lindsey Graham.
Good question, because they're not, in their world, welfare spending is more important than military spending. These guys are liberals from the left. The military budget is an annoyance. It's money they could be spending on helping people who won't work that could, growing the government. So we've got a classic debate here between guns and butter. If you left it up to the liberals, we'd have a rowboat and a pistol and a kite to defend America. So,
what the fuck? So, I think welfare is more important than the military, and a lot of European nations also feel the same way. Even the conservative parties in some European nations feel that way. So, and we could cut the military budget in half and we'd still spend the most. So I don't know, he's just a fucking war hawk. He's like a war hawk because I think he's compensating for something. The rumors are out. Rumors have floated around about old Lindsey Graham for a little bit. And I think his hawkish behavior may be compensation. Now, I don't think, if the rumors are true that he's gay or bisexual, I don't think that makes him less masculine, less manly or whatever, and that he should have to compensate in any way. I'm a gay man. So why, you don't have to compensate, but in his worldview, that's something you would have to compensate for. So he does it by, I don't know, thinking we should buy more bombers. Is it really even manly or traditionally masculine to buy a bomber for someone else to use? I don't know. Anyway, Lindsey Graham, idiot. Up next, we got there's a quote that's like, milk toast, if that means anything to you. I'm not sure what the context is. I just saw it and I was like, yep, we're going to run this one.
Starting with you, Congressman Chip Roy, what is the realistic alternative to this? Because I understand we wouldn't formally default. We can pay the interest on our debt, but our debt could be downgraded and that could be catastrophic. So what is the realistic alternative to this deal?
Well, thanks, Kaylee. First of all, everything that we're seeing out of the bill that was put forward, this deal, this hatch this weekend, is pretty milquetoast, if that word might mean something to you. But frankly, the real problem we face is
if that word might mean something to you, did he just call her stupid? Say that she has a small vocabulary? Like, I don't know why that. Like, I mean, I don't care. She works for Fox News. Like, I'm not gonna light a candle for her and shit, but like, have a little respect for people and don't like assume that they're idiots. If that word means anything to you, it's not like that lady's Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? Like, I would ask Marjorie Taylor Greene if a word like that means anything to her, but that's different. That's very much different. Speaking of Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says now all of a sudden releasing the January 6 tapes to the public would be bad. Would be very bad for, whatever reason, I suppose. I'm not 100% sure why, and we're having some problems with the video player here. Oh, here we go.
Some of these people on January 6th did commit violence. They did break the law. And of course, they have been charged and prosecuted. But there's a lot of people that have been targeted simply because they walked through the Capitol on January 6th. And this is our real concern with the videotapes. If we release these videotapes just widely for the public, number one, we put the security of the Capitol at risk because there's over 1,700 video cameras. Number two, we also endanger many Americans that were simply standing on the Capitol grounds, maybe never even walked through the Capitol or committed any crimes, but they could have just walked further than where the barrier was simply because the barrier was torn down by the time they got there. Most of these people have never even been to Washington, D.C. until that day on January 6th. So there was no way.
That was a sightseeing tour.
They had crossed a barrier because it was all torn down. There's a big concern because there's George Soros funded groups and many other leftist groups that will sit there and view these videotapes for hours and hours using facial recognition software and dox these people and hand them over to the FBI and the Department of Justice, who we have no control over. Some of these people on January 6th did commit violence. They did break the law. And of course, they have been charged.
So that's crazy. She's like, they're going to get doxxed, just turning them into the FBI. That's not doxing, right? That's a snitching. She meant snitching. She didn't mean doxing. She could have said, there's a bunch of snitches out there and we shouldn't have this material out there. And I would disagree with her, but at least I'd understand and admire the sentiment in some kind of way. But I think that there's footage that maybe implicates her or some of her colleagues in a way. Maybe. Anyway, did you know that Memorial Day, they should be actually honoring the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th?
We should be celebrating the memorial of the martyrs, of the sacrificers, of the people bearing the injury of the cross. I think of the people that have been beaten up over the last 6 years, that have stood with the movement we're in, the patriot movement, the conservative movement. I'm sure that there are Christians in that group that are locked up from January 6th. And we don't have our top 100 most influential Time magazine celebrations of the martyrs, The living martyrs, those that gave up their career, their job, because they couldn't cross the line of compromise and bow their knee to whatever Baal was putting in front of them, whether it was a forced
whatever Baal was putting in front of them
or something else. People have paid terrible costs already. And I'm telling you something, the Memorial Day is really a memorial for us to know and be thankful for those believers that are willing to pay the high price, to face the devil, even with fear and with personal threat, injury, and career loss, not backing down. Those bold voices that will not quit.
Imagine like like fucking 20 years or 30 years from now, if things don't go right, there will be like a holiday, right, for the January 6th thing. And it won't be like in memoriam of the time like that our country was almost, the tradition of the peaceful transfer of power in our country was broken or almost broken. It would be like a celebration of the people who, I don't know, lost their real estate license because they fucking rubbed their shit on the walls. The fucking Capitol building. Who fucking knows? That could in fact happen. So here's a United States House of Representatives member from Tennessee, Tim Burchett. He's going to talk about UFOs and the Bible. It's a little bit weird because those things don't usually go together. Not that, you can't be Christian and believe in UFOs or whatever. It's just that they don't usually go together. But that's not what Tim Burchett thinks.
Never seen a UFO, but they're in the Bible. I mean, read the first chapter of Ezekiel. It's a King James version. It's a translation, but it describes a wheel within a wheel. It describes what you and I would call the classic saucer-shaped UFO. It's in the Bible. It's in hieroglyphics. It's in hieroglyphics. It's in Dark Ages paintings. It's there.
You got the giants in the early part of the Bible about Noah. Remember that? That's
Steve Bannon don't believe in no Bible. Even Steve Bannon was like, every once in a while, it's kind of funny that when Steve Bannon has somebody on and they go just a little too far out there, he goes, because Steve Bannon will go down some pretty fucking weird rabbit holes, but he draws a line. He draws a line when people are being extra cray, and that guy was a little extra cray. I don't know what they were describing in Ezekiel. I don't think I've read it, or I've read the King James Bible. I don't recall. I haven't committed it to memory. I don't remember that part of Ezekiel, but and on the seventh day, we created the UFOs guy. It was aliens on the seventh day. So now somebody's just going to talk about mass shootings, and of course we're going to blame everything but guns and gun culture in this country.
Perhaps the most important question here is, where were their fathers? And look at the deranged school shooters we've had in the past decade. Almost exclusively young men with a complete disregard for innocent life. Who was supposed to teach them right from wrong? How did they go so wrong? Men specifically bring discipline and consequence to raising children. And anyone with common sense can see our bodies are built to take the arrows. Our personality is geared towards reason, sacrifice, danger, and stoicism.
Yeah, it's that the men aren't teaching their sons enough stoicism. That's why there's mass shootings. We're meant to take the arrows. We're tough. We're logical. And it's because men aren't teaching their sons a stoicism. Most people, if you see somebody online and their fucking profile says, like in it, like on Twitter, it's like, I'm into stoicism. I'm like, that's probably an incel. And they have a bit of a body count. Not that all people who are having a hard time, dating or getting laid are dangerous or bad. It's just that the ones who are into stoicism probably are. Up next, we got the former guy talking about the war in Ukraine, or I will call it the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. And it's at a town hall, and he's just going to tell you, how quickly he would fix it.
But I want to stop the war. I don't want that war to continue. And I'll stop that war, mark my words, I'll stop that war in 24 hours. But
wait, how?
Mr. President, let me ask.
Serious question. How do you stop that war in 24 hours?
I know both. And frankly, Zelensky was very good because he was part of the phone call. And he said, he didn't say anything wrong to me, the Democrat. He could have gone and grandstand and said, well, I felt threatened. He didn't. I get along with him. I get along with Putin. It would have been much easier to stop it before it started. Putin would have never done this. Would have been much easier. Right now, it's a mess. Now they're hitting Kiev and they're hitting all sorts of things that weren't supposed to be hit. The country is being decimated. By the way, the deaths are far more than their report. When they say 9 apartment houses got knocked down and 2 people got hurt. No, hundreds of people died. The numbers are much different than what you're being told.
But where are you getting this information? I don't doubt that we're not getting the whole story of what's happening in a war that's like all that far away. But how does Trump know?
Into a room and they will, and I know an exact way. Number one, you tell one, you're not going to get anything unless you make a deal. You tell the other one, they're going to get a lot unless you make a deal. And you just sit them and you put them in, and you have to make a determination.
Yeah, but this assumes that the people you're talking to are taking you seriously.
And I'm telling you, within 24 hours, that whole thing will be settled. It'll be settled. And you need the power of the Oval Office. You do. You can't just walk in and say, I'm going to settle the deal. You need the power of the presidency. It was a war that should have never, ever started. It's a horrible war. It's a vicious. I saw it today where missiles are going into cities, in this case, Kiev, and you see the school children going to school and missiles are following them. The whole thing is horrible. I will have that settled in 24 hours.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. No, you won't. No, you won't. Nobody's going to listen to you. I wish he was right. I wish you could just say the fucking magic words and end that shit. The thing is, though, when he says a deal, when he says, we have to make a deal, I bet he means that the Ukraine has to give more land to Russia. What does he mean, a deal? So up next we got his name is Mark Wayne Mullen. Mark Wayne is one word and it's his first name. It's not Mark Wayne Mullen. It's Mark Wayne Mullen. And he's a dumb fuck. Watch this.
Would you think would be better? I'll ask everybody on the panel, which is better to teach? This, that is a story that was made up to teach our kids, 3-year-olds who have no idea what race is, now all of a sudden is being taught that white people said this as a truth. Someone point at me that this being a truth, that white people developed race, that white people developed that all of a sudden that was our word that we developed. By the way, I'm Cherokee, Native American. I think we have experienced a little bit of racism before in my life, Chairman.
Senator wait. Okay, so even if your 23andMe says that you have some First Nations blood, you white. Whiteness is whiteness is a thing that is bestowed upon you. It isn't your 23andMe score.
Which one is better to teach? This or the Jesus Loves Me lyrics? Ma'am, I'll start down here. Just tell me which one. I don't have time for an explanation.
What I'll tell you, Senator Mullen, is that what children in these early years develop their identity. It's important that our classrooms are.
I'm just asking which one is better.
Let her answer the question, please.
My question is this.
She will answer as she sees fit.
Which one is better?
It's important that children's identity and language and culture are recognized.
That's not answering my question.
And that's what creates strong executive function.
If you don't want to answer my question, that's fine. Let's move on down the panel. Which one is better to be taught? This book or the Jesus Loves Me lyrics? That says everybody's skin doesn't matter. They're all precious in His sight.
I think it's important to teach that all children are seen and valued for who they are, and that's
so. But when you teach this, don't you think that other people are start saying that white kids are to blame?
I think it's important.
It's exactly what they're going to teach. It's exactly
they're laughing at him. I wish they were allowed, because they can't, right? They probably get held in contempt of Congress or in contempt of the Senate or whatever. But I wish they could just call this guy a dumb fuck.
I disagree. First, it is important that we teach Jesus. And Absolutely. Jesus is what we teach.
So which one is better?
But the reality is...
Do you think this is
Could she answer the question, please?
I don't want...
Oh, is that Bernie? Was that Bernie? Hey, you...
That we teach Jesus. And Jesus is what we teach.
So which one is
but
better?
But the reality
is. So do you think this is?
Could she answer the question, please?
I don't want to
get him, Bernie.
I'm asking the question: which one is better? That's exactly what it is.
Got it on tape.
Misspoke.
What a fucking idiot! My God. No, you don't teach. I mean, I guess you could teach kids the lyrics to a religious song in a class about like world religion. I think maybe we need more comparative religion classes in schools, and you could teach like little songs and shit from different religions. But man, they'd be real pissed about that, because then they'd be fucking teaching the kids about other religions too, right? Kids would be learning songs from Hinduism, from Islam. Hopefully they don't learn no Scientology songs. You ever heard that We Stand Tall song? That song sucks. Anyway, we're going to move on. This is Carrie Lake. She's just a sore loser.
On that campaign trail, I prayed a lot, and it really was something that made me feel like things weren't going to go the way they should have gone.
Right.
Because we have a movement. It was a Holy Spirit. It was God. Mm-hmm. And I said, God, however this needs to go, I'm only in this because of you, God.
Right.
And however you need this to go, if more eyeballs need to be opened when it comes to our corrupt elections,
right,
then so be it.
Amen.
It is all yours, and I belong to you.
Amen.
And so I believe that this election was stolen and rigged, and we know that. We've got proof and evidence, and we're presenting it to the.
Oh, she's got proof and evidence that the election was rigged, but actually God rigged the election. God needed to challenge her in a way so that she could, I don't know, so she could get on TV more often, something like that. I have no idea, like, what this line of thought is, like, what the point of this is. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. But it's Carrie Lake. She's fucking stupid. And I think the first time we ever found out about her was because she believes in chemtrails. I think we knew about Carrie Lake long before any of this running for office shit was happening. So we're going to move on now. We have a little bit of some gay panic here. Here is somebody's mad at Chick-fil-A for hiring a diversity, equity, and inclusion officer. Chick-fil-A is no longer the Lord's chicken.
So I'm grieving. It's lunchtime. I'm here with Aubrey, and we really wanted some Chick-fil-A, but because they decided to hire a diversity, equity, and inclusion corporate position, and also bow down to the woke lords because of their ESG scores, and also I found out, do you know this? Their chicken is funded by BlackRock and Vanguard. Are you kidding? Yeah, no. Their farms. They use Tyson and this other farm. BlackRock and Vanguard funded chicken. Chick-fil-A, you are no longer the Lord's chicken. You're actually the woke chicken, and I'm really upset about it as a Christian woman. All we wanted was some good fried chicken. So now we're gonna go to Cane's. We're gonna try it out. This is really difficult because there's a Chick-fil-A across the street. I'm now eating chicken fingers instead of chicken nuggets. I know, first world Christian woman problems. No one will ever understand the love that I had for Chick-fil-A. I got my sweet tea with a lemon, and you know, we're taking this boycott Chick-fil-A thing seriously, and it's really difficult. I got a 4-finger box combo, extra fries, crispy cane sauce.
Yeah, so devastating for Chick-fil-A. Like, why are they, like, why do they, I don't know, like Chick-fil-A, that's first of all, it's not very good. Like, you get a way better chicken sandwich, even at just KFC. And, yeah, I don't know. I guess they're no longer the Lord's chicken because they hired a DIE or DEI officer. Up next is, this woman is a comedian, and she's on filling in for Eric Bolling on, I don't know, is this a fucking Newsmax? I don't even know what network Eric Bolling is, but this is a comedian. Watch this.
It's pretty ridiculous to just assume that Chick-fil-A, I mean, you know, I'm hesitant to make a fried chicken joke, but they sell fried chicken. I don't know how much more inclusive we can get here.
Whoa! What do you mean inclusive? I think she means black. I think she means black. She's like, I'm hesitant to make a fried chicken joke here. Well, lady, it's not a joke, actually. It's just a racist trope about black people. So even if you would have made the joke, it wouldn't have been a joke. everybody's having getting their ass kicked by the woke mob lately. So do you remember that Target rap video from last week? We have a remix of it that's actually pretty great here. If I can get it to come up.
Yeah. Big goofy, but don't ask me where Mickey's at. I look like Humpty Dumpty covered in some shitty tats. You got that 10 packs? Come here, boy, give me that. I like to think I'm really hard, but I'm really whack. We're done with Target pushing rainbows on our children. If they want to target kids, they should join with our religion. As a Christian, I can tell you we don't want the competition. We've been fiddling the kids since the goddamn beginning. I'm sick of this shit and it's not gonna work. No one touching on my kid unless they working at a church and they wear a little gown and I know them by name. Otherwise, they ain't taking my son up on a date. No way, having meltdowns cause we're snowflakes. Try hard, homophobes means we're really so gay. In the closet, giving top to the top, ramen shaman. Ay.
Maggots addicted to that Trump dick. We're some maggots addicted to that Trump dick. We're some maggots addicted to that Trump dick. If she ought to blow, I'ma blow him like a trumpet.
Oh, the message of that was really good. They're like, you can't touch my kids unless you're in a church. So if anybody wants any of the stuff actually during the live show, you can type !docket into the channel, into the chat, and you can get that. And of course, if you're listening on the pod, you can, of course, just find the show notes and look in the show notes, and there's a link to our docket for the week here. So we're a little ahead of schedule here. It looks like usually we're running behind, but this week we're ahead of schedule. I'm kind of plowing through all this stuff. I guess most of the clips have been pretty short. So here's our palate cleanser, and it's just called "I Am Dead." Look at me, dead. Look at me, dead. I am dead.
你实在是很无聊哎，这样也行。
Oh, look at kill the broom killed him. Dead. Oh, dead again. Keeps dying. Yeah, if you're listening to the pod, this doesn't make any sense. Just grab the show notes or watch the video. Sweeping squirrel. Looking around. Oh, do you notice that I'm dead? Did you see that broom? It killed me. I'm dead. That was so cute. That fucking dead flying squirrel. Sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to show it. It was gruesome. That broom really fucked that squirrel up. I know there's some kind of energy we don't ever really want to put out in the world here. But, you know, nobody else is covering that bit of news, so we had to do it. Up next is fucking Michael Savage on Newsmax, and he's ready to take up arms, probably against, I don't know, you and me, maybe? That's usually who they mean.
Well, joining me now is the host of the Michael Savage podcast, Michael Savage himself. Sir, welcome aboard.
Carl, first of all, let me thank you for your service. It's Memorial Day. You're a Navy SEAL. Salute to you, my friend. And your outrage.
No. It would be Veterans Day that you would salute him. He ain't dead. He didn't die. He didn't die in any of the wars.
Your outrage is correct.
Look, he was about to correct him. Did you see that?
Well, joining me now is the host of the Michael Savage podcast, Michael Savage himself. Sir, welcome aboard.
Carl, first of all, let me thank you for your service. It's Memorial Day. You're a Navy SEAL. Salute to you, my friend. And your outrage...
Look, he was about to correct him, but he didn't do it.
Outrage is correct, but it's so deep. It's hard for people to understand that it's not about woke this, woke that. These are suicidal individuals who are trying to make the rest of us commit suicide along with them. And let me remind all of you out there who are listening, Rome did not pass away. I'm a student of history. Rome was assassinated from within and by the invasion of the barbarians. Those two elements are occurring in America today.
No, it was an empire that was just spread too thin, and it didn't die quickly. It died slowly.
I've studied what they have done to the military. We all know, Carl, this will strike a chord with you. We all know the recruitment goals are in the toilet. Why would a young man enlist in the military other than to prove himself? To prove he's tougher than the other guy, that he can beat the other guy, that he can beat the enemy.
Actually, that's a losing market strategy because we've made some progress on the idea that like killing people makes you a man.
To protect America. He wants to protect our women and children. That's what a man goes into the military for. Well, now let's look at what's going on, Carl. Fitness standards. After finding that women were not scoring as highly as men, and under tremendous pressure from advocacy groups, the Army has thrown out all fitness tests. And so now any soldier can meet any fitness requirement for combat specialties without a test. Number two, January 2021, the terrorist Biden signs an executive order that opens military service to all transgender individuals. We hear that's a good thing because all the transgenders, as you well know, are the best warriors on the battlefield. And then,
well, we don't know that they're not. Who fucking knows? We don't have any data on that yet.
Biden decrees that active members of the military can take time off from their duties to get free sex change surgeries, Carl, and all related expensive hormones, Carl, and all expensive drugs, Carl, at our expense. That's what they went in the military for free sex change surgery. Carl, you got
what the fuck?
Time for a few more, or do you want to get sick, or you want to stay healthy today?
Oh,
I'll give you two more.
Keep going.
All right. I did some research for you. The Biden administration, which is a terrorist administration tearing the country apart, ended support for long-standing sane policies prohibiting individuals who are HIV positive from serving in combat zones. That was based on sound science.
What science was that?
It was tied to the need for HIV medications, which are very costly, and the danger of cross-infection through shared blood in a foxhole thrown out.
There's no foxhole, and they weren't doing blood transfusions in the foxhole. Like, this guy has no idea how HIV spreads via blood.
It's worse. The Biden's chief of naval operations, so-called Admiral Michael Gilday, I don't know who the hell he is, decided to add a book, How to Be an Antichrist, one of the leading source books on so-called critical race theory, which is an anti-white hate fest. And in the book, given to our naval men and women now, are readings saying capitalism is essentially racist, and that to be truly anti-racist, you also have to be fully anti-capitalist.
But I don't think that's true, and I'm like, he would call me a radical leftist.
Piece of information for those of you out there who want to know why I say Rome did not pass away, it was assassinated, and we are committing suicide because of the LGBTQ and other far-left maniacs.
But queer people aren't all leftists, actually.
They're looking at readings that are required at West Point right now. There are now slides labeled white power at West Point, Carl. Can you believe this?
Yeah, they want to root that shit out because it's horrible for fucking, it's horrible for unit cohesion and shit if people are racist. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's horrible for like any group of people, actually. Like, it doesn't even have to be the military. If there's a group of people trying to accomplish anything, doesn't matter if it's, overthrowing a country that didn't really do anything to us, Iraq, or like, I don't know, if you're just in a basket weaving club and somebody's running around being hella bigoted, you're just not going to get your shit done as well.
If this goes on, I predicted 20 years ago in a not so joking way, like a Jonathan Swift, that if we don't stop these psychopathic haters, they will snap the crosses off the graves of our war memorials. How far away are we from someone saying, all those crosses make me uncomfortable, and I want them...
if it was my loved one and I knew they weren't Christian, I might go snap that fucking cross off.
Snapped off the graves of dead soldiers. Who's going to stop them, Carl?
Me. I'll stop them. That's the issue. You got a bunch of people just like me.
Carl,
yeah.
I've had enough.
But
yeah, that's a great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, go and show up at the show up at the one of our famous military cemeteries armed, go for it. Let us know how that works out for you.
Had enough. I'm an old man, but I'll tell you something. I'm willing to pick up bombs. I can't take it anymore. I can't take this anymore.
Well, I see your frustration. I mean, look, you want to mess with the headstones of Arlington National Cemetery,
but nobody's doing that. And if you show up at Arlington with like firearms, you're going to be asked to leave.
You're going to have a big problem. But
by people who they're trained killers.
It's like all these people, they do this stuff in schools. They're, we're going to trans your kids without your stuff. What? Just hear me out, Michael. What happens if I just started or we started going around as conservatives, started baptizing people in elementary school without parental consent?
You want to do that, actually.
Liberals would lose their mind.
Why not do it? You know, the real problem here are the lawyers. Let's not forget, it's the lawyers. Shakespeare had it right.
Wait a minute. I think if you look, wasn't Michael Savage a lawyer?
But it's the ACLU. People don't understand. I've been on to these people for 25 years.
I could be wrong, but I think he was a lawyer.
Anti-Christian Libertines Union are run by the sickest people with law degrees imaginable, and they're rolling in big money. The ACLU is the head of the snake, as I declared in the year 2002. It's the ACLU.
Yes, we would not want the American Civil Liberties Union doing things. I'm sure they get shit wrong. They do shit I don't agree with. The ACLU has defended the rights of Nazis to march.
That stands behind all of this insanity. And any administration that comes along that has the power should arrest all of them and try them for sedition and deport them if possible. Those are big
deport them to where?
I'm nothing but a podcast host, but I have a way of putting things in concrete form. It's the ACLU that's the head of the snake that's destroying America. It's the lawyers. They're killing the country. I could go on and on and on. As you know, I don't want to write a book here as a guest fill-in guy here, but Carl, it's Memorial Day. I look at those.
Chat's telling me he was a biologist.
I wouldn't be here were it not for them. I wouldn't be here were it not for them.
Unfortunately, Michael, we have an entire generation that just is not appreciative of a lot of the things that are going on. Michael Savage, always a pleasure to have you on, sir, especially on this day.
So nobody's going to Arlington and fucking with the graves. Like, I don't like the military. Don't like the military industrial complex. Probably don't give that much big of a fuck about Arlington Cemetery. But if I found out somebody was like desecrating the graves there, I'd drop a dime on that motherfucker. That's gross. That's somebody's dead family member. All that does is like makes people or hurts people's feelings. No one's doing that. But again, I'd take the L if it was like, my sister died in a war or whatever, and they put a cross on her grave. Oh, I would take the L. Get that fucking cross off her grave because she ain't religious. And it's that. But this is like an edge case where I'm trying to figure out like a reason I would do that. And there's only that's the only reason I would do that. And I don't think that's happening. I think when people die in military service, it's generally they don't try to Christian them after they're dead. I don't think they do that. Anyway, here's Steve Deese. My God, I'd kind of forgotten about him, and he's been on a roll saying a lot of really dumb shit. I think this will be the third week in a row we've had Steve Deese on the docket. Maybe it's just the second and it feels like the third, or maybe it's the second and it feels like the 100th. But Steve Deese is a fucking idiot, and here he is asking if Donald Trump has the hots for Ron DeSantis.
And to ask the question too, by the way. Because otherwise we wouldn't know what Trump thinks, because he's releasing statements on literally every time Ron DeSantis blinks. Trump has a statement at Truth Social. We are way past dude code violations, frankly into homoerotic territory for one guy to be stalking another man and his actions this much. You just cannot be hetero.
I mean, maybe you find this a bit erotic, Steve, but I don't.
Unless you're a sociopath, you cannot be hetero and be this obsessed, all right, with another man.
Is there a special
his machinations? You just can't do it.
Is there a special dispensation during Pride Month?
No. If anything, you should be more aware that we're looking for things like that, and how they will be classified in this month of all months. All right.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yes.
I don't find any of that erotic, and I am the gayest motherfucker in the world. I don't find any of that erotic. None of that's erotic. Steve Deese feels some kind of way about it, though. And, we're not going to kink shame around here. Although Steve Deese would certainly kink shame everyone and anyone. Anyway, here's the most evil little girl in America.
Novalee here again. The other day I was walking down the hallway at Lakeview Elementary School to give a teacher a retiring gift. I looked up onto the wall and saw a BLM poster and an Amanda Gorman poster. In case you don't know who that chick is, she's some girl who did a poem at Biden's so-called inauguration. I was so mad. I was told 2 weeks ago at this very meeting spot, no politics in school. I believed what you said at this meeting. So at lunch, I went up to my principal to tell him about the BLM poster and that I wanted it down. He said it's not coming down. I was like, yeah, it is, because the school board said on May 25th, no BLM or politics in school. He said, that's weird. They were the ones who made them. I was stunned. When I was here 2 weeks ago, you told us to report any BLM in our schools.
The lady in the fucking red shirt, she thinks this is hilarious.
They're in our schools because you made the signs. I said there should be no BLM in schools, period. It does not matter the color you make the posters and the font you use. We all understand the meaning. It is a political message about getting rid of police officers, rioting, burning buildings down while King Governor Welch just sits on his throne and watches. We all know. Changing the font or the color of posters does not change the meaning. I am 9 years old and I know that. You expect me to believe that you did not know what you were doing by making these posters? Come on, people. I do not judge.
Yeah, this was definitely written by Mom.
People by the color of their skin. I don't really care what color their hair, skin, or eyes is. I judge by the content or the way they treat me. MLK said, I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will not be judged by the color
of
their
my
skin,
fucking
by
God.
the content of their character. That dream has come true. I do not care or look at the color of skin, but you make me think of it. I have Asian, Mexican, white, Chinese, black friends, and I don't care. I like them because some of them make me laugh, some are sweet and kind, sporty, or share the love of God. They are just my friends. You have lied to me, and I am very disappointed in all of you. You cannot even
look at the lady in the background. She's fucking dying. poor lady in the back. She tried not to laugh at this little girl, right? Because she knows this little girl's like the victim of like some kind of weird child abuse.
Your own rules. If you're going to do that, why do we follow any rules we deemed unfit or ridiculous? I'm not following your mask rule anymore then. Get the posters out of our schools. Courage is contagious, so be courageous.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh my God. Yo, that poor little girl, her parents made her say that, right? Like, I mean, she may have been like indoctrinated by her parents, but I feel like her parents wrote that. Like, oh, don't send your kids up there. Anyway, up next we have a based former librarian talking to a guy about books.
Those books that put in the children's library section are there to propaganda and introduce children to other sexual orientations and other sexuality. There are a lot of parents that don't want that introduced to their children. We should respect various rights.
All people should be represented.
Yes.
At least 20% of every library should be something that you do not want to read. Or want to ever check out.
Right.
There are lots of things in my library that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I will not take it out. What are we supposed to do? Go to jail?
No.
That's what they're facing. Why am I upset? Y'all, we have opened a can of worms that make you get back in. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
Don't tell other people what they can check out and what they can't check out. You check out what you want to help people.
Yeah, that was the audio was really bad, and there was I tried to clean it up. There's nothing I can do. That old lady is based. She's like, I don't like all the shit in the library. Sit the fuck down. And that's pretty much it. If you don't you don't like the shit in the libraries carry books by Scientology. They carry L. Ron Hubbard's Scientology books. Do I think they should be removed from the library? Absolutely not. The library's mission is to collect as many books as possible, and as long as the books aren't illegal in some way, there are very few ways in which a book could end up being illegal anyway. But unless the book is like telling you to hurt other people or whatever, even if it is, I don't know. I just don't think that we should be banning books. It's a bad idea. So shout out to that based former librarian. We're going to go back to this Peoria, Arizona school board with this school board member who was encouraging people to take their kids out of the public school. Well, she's back. Here she goes.
It makes me very nervous. And no, I don't think science changes. I think that gravity doesn't change. Boys don't become girls. Girls don't become boys. It's flat. It's constant. Science was created by God. Science was legitimately created to be constant.
No, science isn't constant. That science is literally the process of testing hypotheses and the results of other people's science, testing new and old hypotheses, retesting them. They change everything. Everything changes. That's good. It's called progress. If we didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to speak into a microphone over the internet. They used to think like, oh, we're at the peak of communication with the radio, see? Well, no, you weren't. This right here, my podcast, is the peak of communication. It'll never get any better than this. Quit doing science. It's static, everybody. So up next, we got speaking up and speaking out at church is actually a good thing. And we're seeing more and more of these videos where church-going people are just doing the right thing. In this case, one of their queer members got kicked out for disagreeing with the pastor.
We are under attack. Look at the Los Angeles Dodgers defaming the name of every Christian here on earth. It just burns a hole in my heart, angers me and embitters me. And it should you. We should feel that sting and fight against it. It just, I don't want to give these people a name. I don't want to give them that much credit. I want to cry.
I think you should just stand there and cry. Fuck it.
And I just say that queer and trans people also carry the Holy Spirit. And that was really painful to hear. That was really hurtful. I live in Georgia with my wife now. You baptized me.
I did.
I know you're talking about the Sisters of Indulgence, and I understand that from the outside it looks like they are defaming Catholic faith, but they only do that. They only take... There are queer children here. The Spirit of God moves through all people. I will go.
God bless you.
You know what? Good for her. I assume that's she, her. Good for them. She's like, hey, you baptized me. You're an asshole. That's you don't hear people say that to the priest often. So fucking shout out to that fucking very brave person. Probably can't go back to that church. So here's a lady hella mad about somebody collecting petitions for a pro-choice organization, for some kind of pro-choice, collecting signatures on a pro-choice petition.
What?
Yeah. Are you recording me?
Yes,
now?
I am.
Yeah, because you're that immature and you're lazy and all you do is stand here and go, oh my God, are you pro-choice?
Yeah.
So what facts? Give me your facts.
What do you exactly, why are you still talking to me? Why are you still talking to me?
Well, because
I told you have a nice day.
What's your facts?
Well, you don't like this petition, you can move on.
Science from it. Explain
You don't have to.
Explain the science to me in a way that will convince me. They're not like, tell me the facts, right? They want the facts explained to them in a way that they like too. Like what is this? Is she a debate bro?
If you don't like it, that's okay.
Explain the science. If you're going to stand here and ask us to sign that,
then you have the. Then you need to tell me why I should sign that. What's your science on that? Huh?
Huh?
What's your base? What's your facts?
My facts for a pro-choice petition?
What's your facts on that?
I believe every woman has a right to her own body. Why are you yelling at me?
You have no right to sit here and come up to people and say something, especially you're a man.
It's a petition. You don't have to sign it. You have a good day, okay?
Disgusting. You don't know what it's like. I've lost 3 children trying to have babies.
That's okay.
Shut up.
Okay. I didn't say.
I don't believe her.
I didn't say anything.
Fuck you.
Fuck you too. Have a good day.
Yeah, fuck you. You have no right for human life.
He's laughing at her now. Yeah, fuck yeah, laugh. Yeah, she's funny.
People like you and the rest of us. Fuck you. You probably voted for Biden.
That's okay. That's okay. You have a good day.
Okay. You are giving your money away.
You're so funny. Oh my goodness. You're hilarious. Oh my goodness. You have a good day.
Yeah, and you're like so cool standing there with your Ohio State and
yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get a job that's just handed to me and like, oh my god, I cannot believe it.
Oh my goodness. Have a good day.
You have a great
Toodles. Oh my gosh, you're so mature. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you do some research before you stand here?
Oh, I have. My mother's a Nikki, but you have a good day, all right? Yeah, she is. Yeah, and she's pro-choice. Would you believe that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that she's pro-choice?
She's very pro-choice. Yeah, she
Really?
is.
Does she know the science behind it?
She's a fucking nurse. Yes, she knows the science.
You know the science behind it. You want to go there? Let's talk about trans. Want to talk about science?
Talk about what?
You want to talk about transgender?
What about it? That's nothing to do with this. That's nothing to do with this.
It's the same thing. Science. Science.
This is 2 completely different conversations we're having. What do you want to talk about?
All about science.
Do you want to talk about pro-choice? First of all, let's lower the volume down just a little bit.
Biology and science.
You not want to have a conversation? That's fine. Have a good day.
I don't have conversation with somebody that's ignorant and has no clue on what they're talking about.
That's okay. I don't have conversations with immature people anyways. You have a good day, all right? Oh, well, you're the one yelling at me first, so you know what? That really shows who you are. Oh, really? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that pisses you off. I'm 24. You're fucking 83. You can shut up. You shut up. You
just 83?
You can have a nice day, okay? Goodbye. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. You too. Have a good day, bitch.
Where's your science? Where's your facts? It's like, lady, I'm just trying to get people to agree with me to sign this petition. Like she was fucking, she was hell mad. She just changed the subject too. She's like, oh, let's talk about trans people. And fucking homeboy was not taking the bait. He's like, why, I'm not even here talking about that. Why do you want to talk about that? Oh man, that's fucking amazing. So here's MAGA pastor Steve Vaughn, and he's going to say, he's going to tell us why Target is going to cave to the conservative Christians. And it's not what you think.
Can I explain something in case y'all don't know this? The little LBGTQSers and who all they are.
Essers.
Don't have jobs. You understand, right?
Yeah, I've never met any queer people who go to work. He's right.
They smoke weed.
That's true.
From the time they get up till the time they go to bed in their mother's basement. That's your little rainbow people. The
Sounds great.
Rainbow people, they don't go to jobs because they can't mind bosses. Nobody's going to tell them what to do. So now Target knows that the LGBTQIFZ and O, those people have to shoplift because they don't have money. You know, they just live kumbaya. They think boys are girls, girls are boys. They think money falls on trees. So Target hates you because they know you've got the power. You middle-aged, conservative Christians, you got this. Yeah, they know it, and they hate you because they have to bow down to you.
Wait, aren't QR codes the mark of the beast? He's like, none of them have jobs. They all smoke weed every day. I mean, all you're doing is making queer people seem kind of based. They somehow manage to like take care of themselves without having to go to work every day and smoke weed. Be gay and do crimes, I guess, depending on what state you're in. Some states smoking weed is still a crime, which is silly. Some states it's not. That's a little bit better. But, you know, be gay, do crimes. And by do crimes, I mean smoke weed in places where you're not supposed to. Up next, we got is an OAN anchor, Allison Steinberg. She's pulling an Ethan Schmidt here. Ethan Schmidt goes to Target and complains about, rainbows. And she's going to do that because, I don't know, that's just the world we live in now, I suppose.
Well, I finally made my way to the queer section of Target, and it's actually worse than I ever imagined.
Yo, did you know that your phone is mirroring because of the way you're pointing it, and so nobody can read the things that you're showing them?
Is alive and well. As you can see, they have a full selection, so clearly it's not doing too well.
Yes, how dare they stock the shelves? It's not doing too well because they have items. That's what I think. I go to the store, I'm like, shit, nobody must be consuming any mayonnaise because the shelves are full of mayonnaise.
But this is just out of control. I mean, really? Really? If you thought the
little gay socks?
bad, just come on over to the card section. We're looking in the baby aisle. You'll be such amazing moms. 2 dads.
Yes.
There are more cards congratulating 2 same-sex parents than there are regular male-female parents. And then we head over to the wedding section. Hers and hers, Mrs. and Mrs. I mean,
maybe nobody else carries these cards. Maybe Target carries this stuff because no one else does. Maybe it's hard to find a wedding card for 2 women or 2 men who are getting married in the Hallmark shop or whatever. And Target saw a need, and so they're like, well, we can sell these because people will buy them. Target fucking puts things out there in hopes that people are going to buy those things. That's how the fucking store works, lady. And so somebody in their fucking marketing department or in just in their market research department said, hey, we should put some of these cards out there. People probably buy them. And I bet they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling those cards anymore. She's like, oh, but look, they're still here. Nobody bought it. They must not be selling well. It's like, well, all right. It's not a very reasonable thing to think. Like if you go to the store and sometimes you see this big display of some kind of item, you don't think, nobody must be buying that item because they have this big display. What you think is, well, first of all, you're like, well, it's ugly. Usually the big displays of items are ugly. But then if you think about it for a second, you're like, well, if they're putting this on display, it's probably because it's a popular item and they wanted to make a display out of it so they can sell more of it. And maybe they have some deal with the manufacturer or marketer of that item. So in this video, we see almost what this video seems like it's not too far away from maybe some of the Target shoppers maybe doing what the employees can't do because the employees are going to get fired. Here's a guy who just fucking picked up all the Pride stuff and put it somewhere else in the store and is wondering why the Target people aren't too happy with that. And the other customer is not happy with it either in this one.
We have you on camera.
I damaged what? Could you escort me out of the store, guys? Come on, stay behind me. I need paparazzi. You like targeting kids with all your trans shit? Is that what you like doing? You guys wanna promote pedophilia for little kids? Huh? Get out of my face, stupid girl. Don't walk up to me.
Yo, the other customers are walking up to this guy. He's not showing it either, right?
You're promoting pedophilia.
How so?
All of this shit, all of this crap, Pride, all this crap. Yeah, take the American flag. You're a loser, bro. Do you like pedophilia? This is all gay stuff. They said.
Look at the wife's like, honey, not today. She's like, your heart's in the right place, honey, but not today.
Adults. 2 consenting adults. How is this adults?
How is this pedophilia?
This is gay stuff for kids.
I'm sorry,
they said that. Yeah, man.
That's pedophilia?
Yeah. This is all gay, bro. Your kids can't be gay. Come on. You're a joke. Target is targeting your kids with pedophilia. Wake up.
Oh, that was close, man. That was close. That I don't know. Maybe if that guy's wife and kid wouldn't have been with him, that would have been a different scenario. But like the employees can't do anything about it, right? So if you see this stuff if you see this stuff anywhere and you feel safe doing so, confront the person doing it. Don't commit any crimes. Don't do any violence, but confront the person if you feel safe doing so. I know not everybody feels safe doing that, and that's fine too. Depending on the circumstance, I either would or wouldn't, and that would probably be the case for most people. So this lady had a fucking dream, and she's going to tell you about it because it's, she had a dream.
By now, you probably have heard what's going on in Target, and if you haven't, you're about to. But I had a dream to encourage all you mama bears that your prayers are working. Listen to this. So in this dream, I was standing with a lady named Penny Maxwell who's actually fighting against this stuff that's going on in Target, and she was explaining everything that's going on. Then the Lord took me to another scene where I was in this other big place. It was not Target, but Disney characters were there and holograms, drag queens, and different things, and it just felt really weird. Then these demons walk up to me, and they said, they're ruining our plan. Their prayers are working. They're going to the churches. And I just remember they seemed so frustrated and confused because your prayers and what you were doing was changing their plan. So what I feel like the Lord is saying is don't stop praying, don't stop acting, be bold. We are changing the plans of the enemy and saving the children.
In the name of Jesus, shut the fuck up in the name of Jesus.
I think sometimes Tila Tequila is the only response to some of these fucking people. Here's more. There just keeps being more of this shit. Here's this gal, and she's got a list of people to boycott, and it just seems like eventually this person's not going to be able to fucking shop anywhere. She's not going to be able to buy anything. She's mad at everybody. Check this out.
Okay, so I'm going to try and film this without giving away.
Oh, this is Bigot ASMR.
Obviously where I am, because this is a local Walmart to me. But I walked in here to buy a birthday gift for my best friend's son. And right as I was walking into the front entrance, which is directly behind me, that is the front entrance right there, this is what I saw. So originally I just saw this, and then I looked over here.
Okay.
Child's onesie. Those are children's shorts.
Mm-hmm. Kids like rainbows.
Right at, like I said, the front of the store.
Maybe those items sell well.
There is no denying it. It's right at the very front. So, guess what I'm doing, Walmart? I'm taking my business elsewhere. I was going to buy my boyfriend's birthday gifts here. I was going to buy my best friend's son's birthday gifts here. Nope, not anymore. There it is. They're coming for your kids. Now I'm in a Marshalls. I'm in the book section. Let's buy this.
Okay. I can't read it because you're an idiot and you don't know how your phone works.
Then, right as I was like, okay, this looks good, I'm going to walk away, I see that. So at this point, retailers are basically forcing us to go to places like Amazon. Because now I'm walking out of the store without a gift for my best friend's son. So
I thought it was for your boyfriend. She can't even remember who she isn't buying a gift for.
This is bullshit.
All right. Oh no, a rainbow tutu. What little girl? What? Oh no, they're coming for your little girl. Before, like, little girls always love rainbow tutus. Now there's some parent somewhere. Their little girl wants a rainbow tutu, and they're like, "That's groomer shit." Little girl's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Dad?" or whatever. Oh, we're not gonna let them groom you with a rainbow tutu. And the little girl's like, but Daddy, I just want the rainbow tutu. Daddy, it's cute. Can I have the rainbow tutu? It's $7. And Dad's like, you're trying to groom yourself. Like, my God, this is madness. I'm really glad these people are fucking stupid. I'm just really glad these people are fucking stupid. Because if they were a little bit smarter, we'd be in real trouble. Up next, Rachel Ham, I believe she's a prophetess, is super frustrated that a death angel didn't kill a bunch of people at the Capitol as she had prophesied for the month of May. Here she is with, apparently for no good reason, a boy who might be her son. I don't know.
Today's June 1st, so quite obviously, the death angel did not visit the Capitol in the month of May, period. It did not. We did say we didn't know what year it was, so we are super frustrated. We really, really, really were praying that it was going to be this May, right? It was like, we really wanted it to be this May. I think you really wanted it to be this May because our country is in.
I don't want listen, this shit's going bad enough in 2023. I don't really want the angel of death coming in 2023.
Situation that it just felt like the death angel needed to come this May, but he didn't.
I'd like the giant meteor. It would be much quicker. The death angel has to go around and kill people one by one and shit. Very inefficient. I'm with the meteor.
Seen a couple of things that have made me wonder if he's still coming soon. As far as on the Hebrew calendar is not the same as the Gregorian calendar. And so it still is possible that it's within this month, which still has like a couple weeks left in the Hebrew month. So it's possible that it's still going to be coming.
Yeah, that kid doesn't have a chance.
Weeks. So anyway, we're praying that it's still going to come. We're praying that it's soon. We're sad that it didn't already happen.
Yeah, that's, again, the last thing we need is the fucking angel of death coming down on us. Shit's bad enough. Oh, and we don't know what year it is. It's like the fucking end times people, right? Like, oh, Jesus is coming back. Everybody, any day now. Any day now. It's almost like the chemtrailers. Oh, everybody's going to wake up to chemtrails any day now. It's always, this shit is always like, oh, this is eventually going to happen. We just don't know. And my prediction was wrong, but maybe I'm right. And maybe I just used the wrong calendar. Maybe it's the wrong year. I don't know. Maybe it's not the angel of death that was coming. Maybe they just catering. They showed up and did some catering and it wasn't even the angel of death, but I predicted something. People are fucking idiots. So here's this hate preacher. We don't ever people put him in our docket. And I do appreciate that people put this guy in our docket, but I don't usually run this guy's clips just because I don't know. It's just like straight up, it's just some kind of energy I don't want to put out in the world. But this is funny because Hemet Mehta, the friendly atheist, is always the one that pulls clips of this guy. And well, the friendly atheist gets a shout out in this. Also, maybe I just don't like his wheat field.
Now, what is a fool? Well, the Bible says in Psalm 14, verse 1, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. So an easy application is the atheist. You are going to get nothing out of hanging out with an atheist. You're going to get nothing out of some intelligent conversation. The friendly atheist is not that friendly, okay? He's not a friend at all. He's someone
Hemet Mehta seems very friendly.
That you should depart from the presence from. Any atheist or whatever. Don't waste your time on people who reject wisdom or who mock sin. Don't waste your time on the atheist, debating the friendly atheist or something. Don't waste your time, with someone who's going to make fun of God's law. Just walk away. Walk away from toxic people.
I mean, I agree. Walk away from toxic people. And if somebody's making fun of you because you're religious, they're an asshole. But if they I don't believe in your religion and here's why, well, that person's not an asshole. There are many religious people hang out here and they know I don't believe in their religion and I've probably said why. But, and I'm not even the friendly atheist. I'm kind of an asshole, right? How could you be mad at Hemet Mehta? What a nice guy. Every time I've ever seen him interviewed, he was one of the few people out of New Atheism that didn't join Gamergate, then end up in the alt-right. He's one of the very few out of that whole scene that didn't turn into a giant piece of shit. So here's Ben Shapiro Tiny Dancer Ben Shapiro. I'm gonna define a book ban. I'm gonna give you the definition of a book ban and then tell you that it's not a book ban.
Meanwhile, President Biden himself has taken up the mantle of Pride Month. He's the elected Pope of the holy month of Pride, obviously, and he has put out a statement. And his statement says, quote, "Today, our nation faces another inflection point. In 2023 alone, state and local legislatures have already introduced over 600 hateful laws targeting the LGBTQI plus minus divided by sign community. Books about
plus minus divided. Oh, now the fucking math nerds are part of it.
Minus divided by sign people are being banned from libraries. That is not a book ban, by the way. Saying that a 7-year-old should not be able to access books saying boys or girls is not a book ban. Transgender youth in over a dozen states have had their medically necessary healthcare banned. And this is Joe Biden coming out in favor of the transing of the kids. It is now medically necessary healthcare to chop the penis off a 15-year-old boy.
They're not doing that.
In order to pretend that he is a girl.
No, they don't do that. First of all, like his characterization of it is grotesque, but also that just isn't happening. Nobody's getting bottom surgery under 18. I'm not saying it's never happened, but this isn't what's happening. And Ben knows it too. That's like what's like, I don't know if Matt Walsh knows that what he's saying is false, but I think Ben knows what he's saying is false. Ben knows what he's saying is false. And we don't usually do soundboard requests during the podcast part of the show, but I'll go ahead and do this one.
All the things are bad. There are no good things.
We got one more for the regular show here, and then we'll go into the post game. A little ending a little early this evening. We usually go all the way till 9 and sometimes a little past. But a lot happened this week, but most of my clips, as you saw, were like 30 fucking seconds. So, you know, we do what we can. We do what we can. We aim for 2 hours, but we didn't quite get it. This is pretty good here, though. This is like some person who probably bought a blue check mark from Apartheid Clyde on Twitter, went to something at UMass Amherst and asked a really stupid question of an academic, and the academic handled it pretty well, actually. I don't think a lot of times academics handle these dumb fucks who think that they're hella smart really well, but this one does. This one's great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Hi, thanks for coming today. Are there any trends within the Black community, such as higher crime rates or higher illegitimacy rates, that could explain their position vis-a-vis whites? And can those be explained by some dominant social group?
No.
No to the first one, or the
no
second one?
No to both.
So there's no.
I mean, there's a propagandistic mechanism that's afloat about, black illegitimacy and black criminality. I guess it depends on what kind of crime you have in mind. If we think about which community in the United States has the highest degree of history of violence, that's unquestionably white Americans. Unquestionably. I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware of the 100 massacres that were conducted between the end of the Civil War and World War II that were directed against black communities throughout the United States, in which thousands of blacks were killed and the white terrorists appropriated black-owned property. So there's no segment of the population that has a greater history of violence than white Americans. So when you talk about these kinds of matters to me, you're actually mouthing a set of propagandistic claims that are made on the right in the United States, and they do not have a foundation in fact.
All right, so.
Sorry, we need to move on with the last 3 questions.
Oh, didn't work out so well for you there, but dude, fucking sorry. He's like, I read this shit on Twitter, and I'm just going to repeat it at a university. And I like the first answer where he asked the question, and the guy's like, no. Also, like that guy's fit a little bit, right? Like that, there aren't too many people who can pull off a fucking suit and a beanie, but that older gentleman certainly pulled off the suit and a beanie. But this is what happens like when you have Twitter brain, and then you end up talking to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. Yeah, his look is cozy but professional, as someone in the chat said. So, hey everybody, this show is usually 2 hours these days, but we did about an hour and a half this week. That's fine. Live viewers, don't go anywhere. We've got some stuff for Red Light, and as you know, Sunday tends to go pretty late. Podcast listeners, we'll give this out as a freebie. We'll give this show out as a freebie since you didn't get your whole 2 hours. You can head on over to patreon.com/Echoplex and get the whole audio and video capture of this show. And yeah, I don't know. This whole time I've been producer Dave. You can find me on Grindr. This has been the Plex, and make sure you check out our other shows. And check out everything going on at our website, echoplexmedia.com. This is Boomers by Periscope. I'm going to change the color of the lights in this room, change the content of my drink, and let's go down the rabbit hole.
what we're doing at Echoplex and aren't into Twitch, please join our Patreon at patreon.com/Echoplex. For $5, you can get every show from beginning to end sent to you as an MP3, even the stuff we bleep out because it's too spicy for Twitch. Echoplex would not be where we are today if it wasn't for the community support we receive. Find out all the ways you can support the show at echoplexmedia.com/support.